They don't
Okay, so
actually
this
put
is
stops.
why, this is the reason, America and Canada and Australia and all these countries, it's an impossible problem or a thorny problem to fix, is because for so many years now, people have been told this is how you almost save for retirement. This is what you're
Yeah.
saving for. You put your
So
money
much
into
is
this
tied up in it.
30-year mortgage and you're paying on it. And then when you retire, it's worth a lot more and you can sell it and have a life. If you were to turn homes into depreciating assets overnight, which I think is like kind of what you have to do to get to a real society, it cripples like a generation of people, 2 generations of people. There's young Canadians who have taken out the biggest loans imaginable to buy a house in their area, and like if that
I mean,
goes
that's
down
the
in
problem,
value,
right?
They're
Is like
fucked.
with
They're crippled.
with something like the local zoning stuff. Like, why would you be a NIMBY? It's like a lot of people. The idea behind NIMBYism is like, in principle, you agree with the idea of more affordable housing, but it's not in my backyard because it's against your own individual interest to vote for it, at least in the short term.
Yeah.
I think
like
you could
the idea
make
of
a
making it
long. I
federal.
think you could make a long-term argument that you're also voting against your own interests, but that's a long.
I like the idea of taking it out of people's. I think people talk shit about new people all the time, and I get it. But it's hard to make someone vote against their own personal pocketbook, right?
Yeah, you need to change like the structure.
I like the way you said about Japan, where it's just a federal thing. It's like everyone's doing it. It's not just your little areas that you're gonna fall behind.
Yeah,
everyone's gonna have a devaluation in some way to make it more affordable so everyone doesn't get angry. I mean, I seriously feel like I say this a lot, but I feel like half of global radicalization is due to an inability of young people to afford a home or see even a path to affording a home. I think if everyone could afford a home, it would change so much of people's anger and
incredibly. There are so many problems that stem from a culture where housing is meant to be your main investment, because it's like we said, it incentivizes everything for you to prevent housing to be built. Once you bought into the system, every incentive pushes you towards less housing being built, and it screws over everybody who isn't already in the system. And it's like, so now we're dealing with that. And I'm pessimistic about how we change this. And that's why I hear the Japan on the national level deciding zoning. And that just sounds like a fantasy to me of like, God, if you could just force all these people to just build or not even force them to build, to let developers build. Like San Francisco does everything they can to stop developers who desperately want to make housing from doing it, because they come in and just stop every single thing at every point of the way. And if you just opened the market and let people build things, housing would go down. But every homeowner in San Francisco benefits from the fact that the prices go up every year, right? And it's just, I don't know how we solve it. It is actually in the book that just came out, which we'll probably talk about in the next couple of weeks, that this is very explicitly what they're talking about as one of the main issues right now that is causing particularly blue states to lose people to red states in the United States, because it is just not affordable.
It's cost of living, cost of housing.
Right. And red states are on average building a lot more. And Texas and Florida are particularly doing that. They are gaining the most people. Their housing prices are the most affordable. It's like, something has to give. Like, people can't do this forever. I don't know, man.
It's tough because I think once you if you tried to pass some sort of like national legislation about it, right? Depending on who's making the effort to pass it, the messaging is kind of similar to the version of getting rid of cars that I didn't actually say a couple weeks ago.
No, I heard from the comments you did.
I
heard from the comments you did.
But that's I think in America, like, as soon as you overstep the boundary of something that affects property rights, people are going to light up about it. The messaging about it will never be delivered in like a positive, like, this is what the country or community needs. It will always be an infraction on like rights.
It goes against the American
context.
culture of freedom and government. Get out of our, like, why would the federal government's going to come in and tell my town that we have to build more and can't zone the way we want to? And then on top of that, it's exacerbated by the fact that who votes the most? Old people, right?
Yeah.
The older you get, the more involved you are in local politics, the more power you have in your local politics. And those are the people who are bought into the homing system and do not want everybody else to come in and allow a bunch of apartment buildings to spread all over the place. So also the people who have the most voting power are the most incentivized, and young people aren't going to coalesce around this enough to do it. I mean, maybe they will. Maybe they're awesome. But
they might. I mean, people are getting more and more restless about it. It's like, it's one of the biggest problems.
Yes.
In
maybe it
developed
hits
countries.
maybe it hits a breaking point, and I would love it to.